And you're going to find that we cover a ton of information in this chapter. Okay, we're going to cover the natural logarithmic function. We're going to cover the exponential function, their derivatives, their integrals. And so you're going to have a lot of information. This lesson will probably take us 2 to 3 days to get through. Okay, and so first of all, we need to define what the natural logarithmic function is. And so the natural logarithmic function is defined by ln of x equals the integral from 1 to x of 1 over t dt, where x is greater than 0. So what I want you to do on your calculator right now is I want you to go ahead and graph y equals the natural log of x. Could you give this to me?
I didn't tell you. Okay.
Well, that's okay. So first of all, if you look at the natural log of x, if you look at the natural log of x, you notice that the domain is what? The set of x's is what? 0 to infinity. Okay, and what about the range? What can you tell me about the range? Negative infinity to infinity. So it keeps on going forever and ever. Okay, the function is continuous. That means it has no breaks in the graph. It's increasing on the whole interval. That means it goes up. And it's 1 to 1. Remember, 1 to 1 says for every x, there is exactly one y. Okay, the graph is also concave downward. Remember, it doesn't hold water. Okay? So we've kind of tied in what we've learned over the past 4 chapters. And so let's go ahead and look at some of the logarithmic properties. And you were given this on your sheet. First of all, the natural log of 1 is 0. And you should notice that on your graph. Okay, that is actually where it crosses the x-axis. The natural log of a times b equals natural log of a plus natural log of b. Okay, so basically if you multiply 2 quantities, okay, you can add their natural logs. And the natural log of a to the n power is n times the natural log of a, so it's like bringing that power in front. And then natural log of a over b is natural log of a minus natural log of b. These should look familiar because we covered them last year. So let's go ahead and look at our first problems. Our first problems say to expand, which basically means to make bigger. Okay, so natural log of 10 ninths. Natural log of 10 ninths. How can I expand that?
ln 10 minus 1.
There you go. So that's all you have to do on that one. That one's pretty straightforward.
So can you
Pretty easy warm-up one. That's your answer.
Oh, you can't make it like ln 1, so you can't make
No,
it 0.
you can't make it ln 1. It needs to stay ln of 10 minus ln of 9. Now the next one, if you notice, is a little different. And so the very first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that as 3x plus 2 to the 1/2 power. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and write that as 3x plus 2 to the 1/2 power. What do I do with that power? I bring it to the front. So actually my answer will be 1/2 ln of 3x plus 2. Okay, so that's your final answer on that one. I want you to work on that third one.
Split up 6 plus
How many of you had
I did.
this as your final answer? Okay, that's half correct.
Yes.
Not fully correct.
I had ln 6
Because you can actually split up the 6x. So really this should be ln of 6 plus ln of x minus ln of 5. Okay, so you needed to make sure that you went ahead and broke down the 6x as well. All right, we're ready for this one. Biggest thing you can do is try to rush through and get the answer right away, which I know some of you like to do. Okay, that you can't do on these. You've got to take them step by step. Okay, first thing you're going to do, I'm going to split up the fraction. Okay, that's the very first thing I'm going to do. So really, it's ln of x squared plus 3, quantity squared, minus ln of x. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and write that as x squared plus 1 to what power? The 1/3. Oops, I have a little trouble with the 1s there. Okay. So then now, individually, I'm going to go ahead and break that down. So how can I break down this one right here?
2x.
So I'm going to bring the 2 out front, and I have ln of x squared plus 3. Can I do any more with that? I can't do any more with that because the x squared plus 3 is a quantity. Okay. Minus, what can I do with this next one? Okay, actually I'm going to break this into 2 distinct parts first. Okay, minus ln of x, okay, plus ln of x squared plus 1 to the 1/3. And once I get that down, I'll give you a moment to look at that and see if you understand what I did. Oops. It's not as simple as it gets, but I wanted to just make sure that you understood what I did. All I did in that step was split up the x and the x squared plus 1 to the 1/3. That's all I did. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the 2 ln of x squared plus 3 alone. Because remember I said I was done with that. What you could do here is you could distribute the negative. It doesn't matter if you do. All right, what else do I have to do? Take care of? The 1/3, and where am I going to put that? In the front of the second one right here. It does not go in front of the first one because that would make the x 1/3 as well. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You can do minus the quantity if you wanted, or you could distribute that negative side as well. It doesn't matter. Either way is acceptable. Oops, ln. There we go. If you don't distribute the negative, the one thing I am going to ask that you make sure you do is put parentheses. Questions? Biggest thing, don't try to do too many steps as one. All right, the final thing we're going to talk about is condensing. So your first rule was to expand, make bigger. Your last rule is going to be to make smaller, condense. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with like the answers I just got done doing and move backwards. So things you're looking for, coefficients, addition, and subtraction. I see a coefficient here. That means I move it up. I see a coefficient here. That means I move it up. So essentially what I have is I have natural log of y to the 4th minus natural log of x cubed. So remember what I said, coefficients, addition, and subtraction. What do you notice I have? Subtraction. So what do I do with the 2 quantities? Divide them. So y to the 4th over x cubed. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to deal with the inside brackets first, and then I'll take care of the 2 at the end. I see a coefficient here, so that means power here. Okay, so really I have 2 ln of what? X to the 1/2, or this, I could write the square root. Okay, plus ln of x squared, or x plus 1, sorry, I didn't mean to say x squared. Okay, so things I'm looking for, coefficients and addition and subtraction. What does this mean if I add it? I multiplied, so really I have natural log of x to the 1/2, and then what? X plus 1. Okay, now I'm going to take care of that 2, and what am I going to do with that 2? Put it in the back, exactly right. So I have natural log of, and notice here, I'm gonna have to put parentheses around the whole thing. X to the 1/2 times x plus 1, and then quantity squared. So notice I have two parentheses. No, you can't distribute the square to the 1/2. The only way you can do that is it has to go to each term. It would have to go to the x to the 1/2 and the x plus 1. So you could technically do it as long as it went to both. But you can't just distribute it to the x to the 1/2. I think we have one more, don't we? Or not? Oh, nope. Okay, you know what? We're going to actually call that good for today. If you want to go ahead and get started on your assignment, it's listed at the back of that notes sheet. You should be able to do the first part of your assignment based on that. So,
Are you like